The secret of the King Antony. Once upon a time, there was a kingdom in which everyone was happy. Its ruler, King Antony, had managed to bring peace and happiness to that place thanks to his courage and ingenuity. Long ago, his kingdom had been invaded by an evil army commanded by an evil witch who wanted to take power from the kingdom. But King Antony spelled then or thanks to a magical sweet that filled him with a courage. That sweet had been given to him by a beautiful forest fairy who lived happily in the kingdom and promised to help him on the condition that keep the kingdom peaceful. No one in the kingdom knew the secret of his sweet. King Antonio didn't want anyone to know that his sweet had powers. If the enemy found out and robbed him, it would be the end of his reign and his people. Every day, King Antonio take on his magic sweet every morning and take it off when he went to rest. He had to wash it every day night. According to the fairy, the sweet has to be washed every day to be purified and this way increase their powers. One day, the royal tailor realized that the King Antonio's sweat was ripped in his trousers, so he took it while the king was asleep, thinking he would not notice it and intending to return it before dawn. The tailor left a sweat similar to the one the king had in the case the king woke up and didn't see the sweat. That night, a small army of weak soldiers attacked the castle again by surprise. The watchers immediately alerted the king, who put on his suit without realizing it was a copy and went out to lead his army with the same energy and courage as ever. Within hours, King Antonio and his soldiers had driven the enemy out by fighting with all their might and riding their great big horse who had accompanied him to the reverse battles. The king returned to his kingdom happy and victorious for having banished the enemy. When he entered his room, he saw a suite. He did not understand what was going on, so he called the tailor to ask for explanation. When the tailor arrived, he said, "Dear tailor, I don't need a new suit. I like this one. Why didn't you make me another one?" The tailor replied, "Your Majesty, the suit you see there is the one you have always had. The one you are wearing is a new one you left last night." The tailor told him the history of the damage on the king's suit, who was very much shocked. The king said, "Do you mean that he fought without my suit? What have I directed all my army and defeated the enemy by my own means?" "Yes, your Majesty," replied the tailor, who did not come out of his astonishment at that situation. "Are you an envoy by the forest fairy?" the king asked. "What fairy, sir? I am just a tailor who learned his father's trade. I'd better rest, your Majesty. He's been a little asleep, and the effort makes you lose your mind." The king was very lucid. He had realized that his suite had no powers of any kind. That day, King Antonio discovered that the great gift the forest fairy had made was not a simple suite, but his courage and confidence needed to lead a great kingdom and defend the peace of the fairy wanted to keep, and thanks to the king, the peace was keeping for many, many years. This is the end.